Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yay. I'm so happy we could come together on this day to bring everyone some mindset motivation. And
Great.
this is a beautiful moment where we get to share a two-word story. And I cannot wait for you guys to meet today's two-word story share and the guests. If you want to kick it off, Leah, and introduce yourself, that would be so great.
Okay, great. So my name is Lia Davila. I am a mother of 9, not all biological, but they're all mine. And I have an amazing husband in an amazing dance school.
Awesome.
That's
That's wonderful. I love it. And you have a long history of dancing, right? Like,
yes,
yeah.
yes. I started out dancing. Actually, I started out in an after-school program doing gymnastics.
Mhm.
And the gymnastics teacher, this is live.
That's okay. I love it. He's
And
like,
the gymnastics teacher encouraged us all to join a dancing school of a friend of his that just opened. So I guess I was like 7 or maybe 8 years old. And I started back then and I just continued.
I love it. That's so great. And so you are located in the Connecticut area. And
Yes.
so it's so great. So anyone that's watching that, is able to possibly visit your dance studio, I'll include all the information in the caption
Great.
so that people can follow and, get to know you more and everything. But from here, I'm going to ask if you can share, what is your two-word story?
So upon having this great opportunity to talk to you guys, I read it and I was like 2 words. And those words that I came up with was ignore fear. That's something that there's so much more to me than just dance. Like dance is life for me. It's life. My kids' lives have revolved around it. I've done it forever, but there's so many more layers to me. And a lot of times I don't open those layers because I'm fearful. I'm fearful to step out on faith. I'm fearful to people may not take me seriously. And so those are 2 words that I said, you know what? I'm great that someone said, what are your 2 words? So now I can make that a motivational piece for me every day to stop being fearful, just ignore it and just go for it.
So powerful. And it's something that we so easily can forget. We let fear creep in so easily. At least I know I do. I'll let fear creep in way easier than joy. Like,
yeah.
Why is it that it's like our muscle memory can go to the negative place instead of the positive place? So I love how these 2 words are literally going to like karate chop or dance spin move out of fear, like ignore fear, ignore fear, ignore fear. Do you feel like there was a time recently that you were fearful and you were like, I really had to combat the fear and you overcame it?
Well, yes, very recently. So with the recent, happenings with George Floyd, I mentioned I have 4 sons, 4. Yeah. And I've always been fearful every time they leave the door. Their ages are 19, 18, 17. And, you have to let go. You have to let them enjoy life. And I've always been fearful of what can happen on the other side. So I've always been a sheltering parent. And, just recently I said, I've always known that there was something wrong with our educational system and how it racially conditions our children that look like me to feel inferior, as well as children that look like you to feel superior because of what they're taught in the history books. In my opinion, our history books it's just so one-sided and filled with so many untruths. And I think that if educationally we took a stand to say, hey, we don't want to learn from this anymore. It's not helping. What it's doing is systematic racism. And beyond you saying what are your 2 words? And me thinking, ignore fear. I would not take this stand. I wouldn't even said what I just said to you. I'm holding a peaceful stand in a pledge on this Sunday, and I didn't even put my name on it because I know people just look at me as the dance teacher or their old substitute teacher, and they don't really see me in the light of someone that's making some type of stand like this. And so I almost didn't do anything, and I kind of waited to the last minute to even put it out there, but I had to tell myself, ignore fear. That don't allow that to stop me from doing something that I feel like can make a difference in the world. Even if it's just making a difference with one person, I've made a difference. So
thank you for sharing that. It is a very difficult and confusing time. You're trying to figure out where you want to, like you said, be of service, be helpful. And I think that's the key thing too. Even if it just helps one person, it could be just helping you, and you're important, and I think the biggest thing is that I'm so glad that you mentioned that, being that it's such a current and recent thing going on in our country, and everyone needs to hear this. It's so important, and the awareness is so key. And I'm hoping that all of us are coming together so that the fear doesn't have to be there anymore. Like,
right.
Yes, we're ignoring the fear, but we're also praying that it goes away.
Yeah.
So hopefully ignoring fear, it's such a great example. You ignored fear and wondering if that was the appropriate way that you should show up right now. You're trying to figure out what's best for you and your family.
Yes.
And so that ignore fear lets you feel empowered, because on Sunday you're going to show up to support and be a part of the community. So thank you so much for sharing that honest and vulnerable feeling that you had inside of you.
Yes.
It is a very, very challenging time. Yet again, 2020 has proven to be.
I just want to throw it all away, but listen, like I said, I'm a strong believer in everything happens for a reason. If it wasn't for the coronavirus, we wouldn't all be paying attention,
Right.
And so even with me, you and I talking right now, it's because we were locked in that me and my son even did that TikTok, and I'm having this conversation with you right now.
It's
so
interesting, right?
Yeah, and it's crazy because, like, with so many of my parents at the studio, they were like, like they didn't pay it any mind because they see me do stuff like that all the time. So they're in some of their minds, it was like, what's so special about that? I've seen her dance pregnant and do splits, and so. But I think that I have to think that it happened because it's another one of my naked children. I'm sorry.
I love it. It's okay. I wouldn't be surprised. My son runs around pretty much naked. He's 8 years old, and he literally is like underwear or lack thereof. So don't you worry.
Yeah. Okay. So I just feel like, things happen really for a reason. In this conversation, everything is happening because it's supposed to happen. And I heard that so many people lost their lives to the coronavirus, and I heard that that happened. But with that being said, we've been hurting for a long time as a race. Everybody, the human race, and we're all victims. We're all victims of this bigger thing.
I know we're having there's weird now. All of a sudden, all this stuff's happening. Like a call came in, and yeah. But the thing is, through all of this, what I love about Ignore Fear too, because it relates to everything, even the coronavirus. So now we're moving into the yellow phase, and people will be fearful they might be, but they, ignore fear and enter the world and know that if people can just remember to be kind to each other,
Right, right.
Lead with love, lead with
Yes,
understanding, be a listener.
yes.
Like that is just the simplicity of these messages. So ignore fear and move forward in your day. And if you guys watching, thank you for pressing play and watching us today with this 2-word story share. If the mantra speaks to you, grab a hold of it and try using it this week and repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. Maybe you're fearful to make a career change. Maybe you're fearful to step out and to represent yourself in a certain platform. You know, whatever the situation that there's fear going on, try to ignore it and push forward, because you only come out stronger, right?
Exactly, exactly. Well said.
I love it. I love it. And then I think that you should start doing tutorial TikToks of yours. I will follow that and I will be like trying to learn all the moves. And
Okay.
that's my share to you. So
Okay, great.
thank you so much for coming on today and taking the
You're
time
quite
to
welcome.
2-word story and your beautiful share. And thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a really good week. Sending love to everybody.